Right, I've had a request from some of you if I could do a demonstration to show you how to make bubble letters. So I'm going to pick a name from our class at random and I'm going to just do a quick demonstration so some of you can follow along. So let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to pick Rugaba's name. He's got lots of interesting letters that we can use. So I'm going to start with Rugaba. So the first thing you have to decide on is if you're going to use uppercase letters or lowercase letters. And I think for graffiti text, I think probably uppercase letters will work better. So what you do first is you lightly with a pencil just sketch out the letters of your name. So here I go, hope you can see that. And I'm doing it lightly so that if I change my mind later about any of these letters, the size or the shape, I haven't done it so hard that I can't rub it out and try again. Now I would say possibly mine are a little bit close together, but I'm going to go ahead anyway and show you how to make these into bubble letters. So you've got your sort of skeleton here, and what you're going to do is each of these parts of the letter, you're going to turn it into a bubble. So first I'm going to take this long one and I'm going to do a rounded sort of long sausagey shape around it, and then I'm going to do the same for this part of the upper. I've actually divided it up into sections, so it's a bit like a sort of string of sausages. So I'm going to do all the easy straight ones first, and then I'm going to do the other ones afterwards. Now I might change my mind about the G as I go. Break it up into sections and just lightly go around it until I've got the whole name done. So I'm going to do the long sections first, and you can see they can overlap each other to make the different letters of the name. So you can see I'm just finishing off the name, the remaining letters. Now what I did next was I just did it again, this time making a few changes and making it a little bit smoother and nicer. And then I did it a third time, but this time I did all the letters much closer together so that they overlapped. And again I carried on practicing and making my bubbles neater and more regular. And then when I was happy with it, the final one, I outlined it in pen, but just going around the very outside of each of the letters. And I had to think here about which letters were in the back and which letters were going to be forward. And then when I'd done it with a pen, I could erase all those pencil marks that I'd made out altogether. And that was good that I hadn't pressed too hard because it made it a lot easier to rub them out. The next thing I wanted to do is I wanted my letters to look three-dimensional. So I've made a force field. I have made them look 3D by adding a shadow onto just one side of each of the letters. So you don't do it on all the way around, you just choose which side. I'm doing it on the left side, and then you put a shadow on the outside of the left side and on any inside bits of the left side. So again, I did it with pencil so that I could be happy with what I did, and then when I was happy I went over it with a fine pen. And then I had a thicker black pen and I filled in my shadowed area. So with my shadows coming on nicely, I needed to check that I've got shadows in the right place of each of the letters and that they're overlapping so that you can see which is in the front and which is in the back. So after I'd used my black pen, I erased my pencil lines again, and then took a step back and checked to see if there was anything missing. And I discovered I had missed some of the shadow on the left side of the U and also on the inside of the right side of the U. So I put the shadow in with my pen, and then once I'd done that, I was fairly happy with it. The next stage was to add a a line all the way around each of the letters. I did it with pencil first, as you can see, and tried to keep the gap between the word and my outline line nice and even. And when I was happy with it, again, I used a fine tip pen to just go over it before erasing my lines. The last stage to really make this pop is to add highlight marks. So again, on the other side from my shadow, I created these little lines which are like little light highlights that really help to make my bubble letters look rounded and bubbly. So because this is a sketchbook page and it's just an experiment page, the next thing I wanted to do was try a different type of writing. So this type of writing I'm trying here is called serif letters. Serif are letters where they have these kind of little feet on them. So the way to do this is to again draw the skeleton of your letter and then outline it again with these little feet attached. But it's very important that you use a pencil and you just sketch, and then you can erase bits, try again. Sketchbook pages don't need to be perfect. They're for you to explore different things and to experiment. So don't worry about it looking perfect first time. So this time I'm just going to try a few different ways of writing an R, putting the serif little feet. So they don't just go on the bottom of the letters, sometimes they go on the top or on the side. So when you do this, you do the skeleton, as I said, and then you outline it, but instead of doing rounded bubbles, you do square ends. So just have a go at these different types of letters. So I tried the R, was okay with it, and then I thought I'd try a less angular letter, so I've tried a U here, you can see. And I couldn't decide how to put my serifs on the U. I didn't know whether to put them on horizontal or whether to try various angles. So you can see here I've rubbed it out, and now I'm trying sort of inward angle, and whether or not I wanted my U to go through the top of the serif marks or whether to stop them short of that. But what I need you to do is try a few different things. Don't necessarily stick to the first one. You may come back and choose the bubble, but if you've tried the bubble, go ahead and try the serif. I'm also going to add a link to a website which has got lots and lots of different types of letters. So you can go to the website, pick out the one you want to try, and fill a whole sketchbook page with different types of letters before you go and write your whole name.